Hey Mass JCL, it's your first Vice President Leah. I'm here to talk a little bit about what it's like to be first VP, my favorite part, and a bunch of the different duties that this officer position has. So my favorite part about being first VP, I think, is coordinating Classics Day. Being able to reach out to professors and discuss with them about their topics that coincide with the theme and their personal interest is something that not many people get the chance to do. And I really love the aspect of being able to take Classics Day and put my personal twist on it, and just make it the best event that I can. Um, I also love being able to promote Mass JCL on social media platforms, which is part of the publicity that First VP has. The duty of the First VP that requires the most effort is definitely Classics Day. Classics Day requires hard work and love because of how many different aspects there are to it. There are the pressures of coordination with professors who have extremely busy schedules and schools which have to get to the event, Boston University as the location, and all of the logistics about that. And there are many minute details that must be addressed for any of the major details to succeed. So yeah, there's just so much in Classics Day that needs to go well. So the work that went into Classics Day was a lot. It comprised of many emails, communication, and coordination. There are many steps taken within each aspect. For example, in the very beginning, I was already in contact with Boston University to make sure that they had a spot for the event. Following this is coming with a theme that would pique the interests of the students and accommodate interesting topics that professors could present on. So this goes into being able to put my own twist on Classics Day and choosing my own theme, which this year was Greek and Roman calendars. After that, for the event itself, technical coordination, timing, lunches, student placement, room availability, all played a role into making Classics Day successful, because you had to make sure everything was in order and everything was ready for the event to succeed, and that had to do with so many different things. So this year, Michelle Wu was a presenter at Classics Day, and that's a funny story, but so I learned that Michelle Wu was a former NJCL president, which interested me very much, seeing as though she is now Boston City Council member at large, which is a position that requires dedication, hard work, and much more, as JCL does. At first, I attempted to reach out to her by office through email and phone. However, she was unreachable, which is rather expected with a political figure at her level. And a few years back, I actually was at one of her open houses. So I did know where she lived. I'm not a stalker, but I took the liberty to send her a letter in the mail, including my phone number and all the information I wanted her to have regarding Classics Day. And a few days later, she actually called me, and we had a really nice phone call regarding her availability for Classics Day. So running social media is really fun, I think, especially with the society that we live in today, where so much is on social media. Being able to promote Mass JCL in my own way, along with my fellow officers, is something that I think is really, really great about being First VP. It is so nice to be able to have access and be in direct contact with so many different JCLers and their schools through takeovers, reminders, and it's so nice to be tagged in different things that each school is doing, each local chapter is doing, and be recognized as a prospering state nationally through NJCL. Tips for future First VP, there are a lot of them. I'm also making a First VP handbook, or adding to one that was made last year. But so one of the main tips I have is to start immediately. It may seem like there's a lot of time from becoming officer to Classics Day, but in reality, there's so much you have to do, and just make sure that's perfect, that you want to start immediately. For example, get in contact with BU, get in contact with professors. Professor schedules fill up really quickly. Communication can sometimes be slow, especially over the summer. You want to make sure that you are in a good place when school comes around in September. You have to make sure that you're in constant communication with those at BU, since it is at BU. Email teachers and sponsors as soon as you can, so that you have time to distribute information to them so that they can get it out to students. Stay organized with all of your spreadsheets and docs because there will be a lot of them. I know that I had 3 different spreadsheets basically for the same thing, but each one I changed. You just have to make sure that you know which spreadsheet you have, where all your information is, and make sure you keep inputting the correct information when you receive it. Um, do not be afraid to ask fellow officers for help. There are lots of tedious parts to being first VP and having all this information, so I got a lot of help from my fellow officers. Double check everything. That is a main thing in life, I think, also, but especially for this officer position. You need to make sure you have everything ready, contact the people you need to contact, make sure you have backups and just all of that stuff, to stay ready for whatever comes your way. But yeah, being first VP, I loved it. It's just incredible being able to put an event like that together. And there's so many other parts to it that I highly suggest running for this position if you want to, and if you have any interest in this. But yeah, thank you. I'll see you at state convention.